Hey, what's up? It's your girl, Miss P, and I am back on this YouTube thing. Yes, I did go missing for a little bit, but life always hits in different ways. But this time, I got some stories for you. Like, share, and subscribe. Hey, what's up? It's your girl, Miss P, and I have a story for you, but I know I owe apologies because I have not been around. But, sometimes I gotta let life happen, let the stories build up to get to the final conclusion, and I gotta get through the stressors and the de-stressing process. Well, this story is going to be about Complacent David. Well, I met David online, like all the others. Think I would have learned my lesson, but I was actually in a phase in my life where I wasn't looking for no one. Literally, I really wasn't, y'all. I wasn't looking for nobody. Just a friend to talk to, chop it up with. And yeah, we talked. I wasn't feeling him at first because he looked like one of my church members' grandson, and he was annoying growing up. So he looked like him, and it kind of put me off by him a little bit. But then I warmed up to him. Well, we chopping it up, shooting the shit. Here to find out he's coming back to Houston and needed a place to stay until he got an apartment. Well, I, obliged, and I helped him out, and I rented out the spot to him, and we made our little deal. That's our business. But we made our deal. Everything was cool, calm, and collected. Well, after a while, he started expressing how I should come to that spot more often. And I was going back and forth with it because I am a very strong businesswoman, especially when I know I got my shit down to the T. And so my business side was like, no, I just want to strictly do business, as well as I wasn't looking for nothing, like I said. Well, he was a little persistent or whatever, and I was cool with it. So I was like, okay, we can try to date, but just know, we can just be friends. Don't think that you have to try to talk to me because, I'm, doing you a favor. He was like, no, I actually like you through that whole speech. Okay. So then everything was seeming to go well. We would go out here and there, this, that, and the other. However, I still had my business hat on with him because I've been used before and I didn't want to be used again, but I liked him. So it got to a point where he was at that spot for about, I want to say, 4 months. And it seemed as though he was getting, our word of the day, complacent. And so I went ahead and had to have that conversation with him and like, hey, I really like you, and I'm not sure what your intentions and motives and none of that stuff is. I'm not accusing you. I'm just, putting everything on the table. I am now ready for my spot, back where I can, enjoy it myself. As well as, I didn't say you can move in with me. So, he admitted to him getting a little laxed and, complacent and not really doing a good search, as you would say. Well, before all of the whole moving situation came about, a month before he was getting ready before we had this conversation, everything started to get a little weird. Like, we would always stay inside, always hang out on the inside, only wanted to chill. And I'm like, okay, you trying to build up your money, I understand. Then he got a little busy with school, and then he stopped going to school. But he was working a lot, so I was understanding. It's just like you got to make, adjustments and understandings here and there, basically. And I was willing to do it. But then what got me was he wasn't talking to me anymore. Communication had slowed all the way down, and the only text I would get is, oh, I just woke up, or he's always asleep or on his game. And it's like, well, you wanted me to be understanding that you're saving money so we can go and do some things. Push pause right there. I paid for some things. I believe in the 50-50 system. I always have, I always will, because appreciation is a real word, it's a real action. So no, whoever thinking it, I was not expecting him to spend all his money. I was willing to pay for things too. So, back to what I was saying, pause. And so he was like, steady like dodging and ducking and not really, not giving much. So I was like, okay, if you want me to be understanding to all of this, you could at least communicate with me. We used to talk every day. That changed up. Then here to find out, he went to go duck off with one of his friends, quote unquote. They play games together. However, she's an aggressor for sex. So it's like, I'm uncomfortable. He got that situation handled or whatever the case may be, but it was still in the back of my mind. Now, my part, me, because I know how to admit my shit. Me, I have a homeboy that, I hang out with, and we spend time. And yeah, it was just, it wasn't nothing to it the way they had something going on. Excuse me, I'm driving as always. They had sex before. Me and my partner, we was just chilling. And I took heed to his concerns as far as my friend go. And I made sure I was mindful. And I was like, look, I'm not telling you who you can and cannot be friends with, because I know I have my friend. However, just be mindful. Like, y'all just don't be on no disrespectful shit. Other than that, I can't say anything. So he was like, yeah, of course, we'll always be respectful, whatever. I'm like, okay, cool. So all the whole friendship shit, we finally, like, we discussed things, but for some reason, I guess the communication wasn't as there as I thought, because we talked about things that concerned us. We talked anytime, our feelings felt some type of way, when we felt a little disrespected, just whatever the case may be, we addressed our issue. And I like that a lot. Like, I like to be able to express, I understand that's your friend, it's a female that you've had sex with whatever. I feel a little uncomfortable. Being able to tell your partner that, but being understanding that they have their friendship, it puts you at a little ease that you can have that conversation. Anyways, so we get that handled, and then all of a sudden he gets mad. So he stopped talking to me for like 2 weeks. Don't know why. I didn't know why, like, at all. Stopped talking to me for 2 weeks, and I had posted a picture one day, and it made him laugh. Admitted to it. Made him laugh, and he reached back out, whatever. So we talked, and this is why he was mad. And I'm gonna try to explain it as best as I can without, belittling or dismissing what he felt, even though I didn't understand. So he stopped talking to me for 2 weeks just on his own. And I had plans that coming up Friday with my homegirl. And I am a woman of my word. If I say yes to one, I'm not going to say yes to somebody else. I'm not going to overbook myself. I'm not going to stretch myself thin for nothing and nobody. It's like, look, today is her day. Well, he was like, I miss you. Maybe we can do something soon. I was like, okay, I have plans Friday. He gets mad. Didn't ask me what I was doing. Nothing. And he was like, okay, well, we don't have to do it on the weekend. We can do it, any day, I'm like, okay, we can go somewhere and sit down. Now, this is where this is like the key point that we need to discuss and share and all that jazz. Because that's a specific part that he got mad at. Well, not the first part he got mad at was I had plans, and the second part he said he got mad at was that I said go sit somewhere. Now, again, I told y'all I'm into the 50-50 process. I have no issue with it. However, at that moment, I was not talking about him spending money. I was simply saying, like, let's go sit somewhere. I don't want to be inside. We ain't talked in 2 weeks. Like, let's go sit down and have a conversation. Simple. We could go to the park, but we need to talk. He took it as he wasn't welcomed in my home. He took it as he was some stranger. He took it as I wanted him to spend money. He took it as just all of that in one, really. And it was like, but he never bothered to ask me. Or even if you wanted to pop off, like, what the hell you mean? He didn't even do none of that. He just stopped talking to me again. I'm like, what the hell? Me, I'm already going through some things. So I'm like, okay, if that's what you want to do, I'm going to give you your space. Mind you, he had asked me for patience and time because he was trying to move. And I'm like, okay. So we finally have the conversation that we were supposed to have. Because the whole entire time, he's been having a conversation by himself. He felt as though I had plans that Friday with somebody other than my homegirl. And he put that in his head. He also put in his head that he wasn't welcome in my home, so forth and so on. I finally get a hold to this conversation that he's been mentally having. And I talk to him, we talk about it. I'm like, yo, we ain't hung out, or you have not said anything to me in 2 weeks. So, in some percentage, yeah, I don't want to just lay up with you. I want to see where your head is. Like, where we at? Are we good? Like, why would I set myself up for that? Now, just a slight flashback for myself. I've had a dude be like, oh, we good, we cool, and it was our last time, let me put it in a clean way, encountering each other. And it was very offensive because he got ghosts. I wasn't supposed to have that happen again, more so not in my household. So, it was like, okay, yeah, I want to go and sit down. And then, I didn't want to be inside. I work inside of a building. Yes, we have windows, so I'm not deprived of the sunlight. However, I be inside all day. And then when I get off, I lay down and I play my sales game. So I'm still, again, inside. I wanted to be out. The weather has been pretty. It's summer, man. It's summer all over again. So, yeah, I want to be out and about. But we don't necessarily have to spend money to do that. And so, yeah, that's what he got mad about. And I kind of went off because it didn't make sense. Because we were so open with each other that he could have just asked me, you know, what I meant. Or even if you wanted to be offended, look at what you did. You didn't say anything to me for 2 weeks. You had a conversation by yourself. And then mad at me, and I can't even fix it because I don't even know what it is. So, yeah, like what am I supposed to do with that? I give you the patience, I give you the space. I don't, require much, but I'm not trying to lay up with you the whole time if we're supposed to be a couple. Like, I want to create memories, I want to create moments, even if it is for free. Go get some water guns from Family Dollar and just, I'm a cool chick. Like, I understand budgeting, and I'm spoiled on a budget, so trust me, I get it. So, after that conversation, he finally realized, where I was coming from. I'm like, you have to communicate with me. You ain't even been talking to me to even explain myself. And I strongly feel like communication is key because you'll understand how your partner talks. Because he would have known me saying, let's go sit somewhere, would have been like, hey, we need to get level-headed and talk to each other and see what we want to do. Now, even more information, I told him at one point in time, before we even got to this phase, that I felt like we was just partners with benefits. I really did. Because he has some type of arrogance about him because he was paying me to rent out the space. And me, I'm like still on business mode, so I couldn't really just detach that part because I didn't want to be fucked over because you like me and I like you. So it was a tough situation, and I told him that, and I was very vocal about how I felt. And it shouldn't have been no surprise to nothing and nobody. Because I'm very vocal, and he was vocal, so it just surprised me. And so after that happened, we talked to each other. He told me, that he understood where I was coming from. And I actually understood where he was coming from just a little bit, I guess. No, I didn't. Let me not lie. I didn't understand. I really didn't. Then he was a procrastinator. So he want to be in a high level of policing. Let me just say that. I don't want to mess up his career. He want to be in a very, 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 very high level of policing that requires like 5 years of some training and stuff like that, and credentials and requirements. Me, if you're my man, I'm supporting you. Like, with your drive, your drive, your dream, your goals. So I'm like, gun ho, So I'm all gun ho for things. And I'm, motivated. I'm thinking I'm motivated. I'm not preaching at them. I'm just checking on things like, all right, did you get your classes for the summer? How far along are you with that project, this project? Just simple checking in. He took it as fussing or living up to a requirement. I'm like, no, I was just, hey, if you tell me you want to do something and you pumped up about it, I'm right there with you. I'm your friend and your girl. Yeah. Like, let's get it done. And then I'm a secretary. I'm an office assistant by trade. So I'm asking about dates, times, where you need to be, what you need. I'm very supportive. But I also told him I wasn't trying to be overbearing, so let me know. And he would never let me know, because sometimes I would limit myself and do like a breeze over of, hey, how's this going? Okay, cool. And let it go, and then sometimes I will go in depth and we run out of like little bitty stuff to talk about just to make sure he's okay and cool, in his standing. So, yeah, I just was so confused or whatever about him talking about living up to a standard, and it's like, but that was your goal. I wasn't asking for much. So then he gets to the moving phase, and the conversation ceases altogether. I have to remind him I exist. And he moves with his homeboy that has two girlfriends. Let me be clear, 2 girlfriends, and telling him how he needs to work on his swag. So yeah, that didn't help. Nothing else. That didn't help at all. Then he finally moved. I seen his apartment once, and then that's when the whole 2-week thing happened. So I kind of went out of order. It wasn't in chronological order of how everything went. So, he moves. The 2-week thing happened, and I'm like, what is really going on? So I turn numb. Anytime I feel out of control or confused and just want peace, I'll go numb. So I let him make all the moves that he wanted to do. I started reaching out. I just continued to live life. I slowly weaned myself off of him and just came to the understanding of he's about to say goodbye. And I did. I just accepted it. It was like, he's not gonna last that long, because I'm not requiring much. I'm just requiring you to live the life that you're saying that you want to live. Like, why would I sit up here and listen to your dreams and aspirations and then let you sit your ass on the couch? Like, that's dumb as fuck. But whatever. So I don't know. I don't know if it was over support. Like, I don't know if I was a helicopter girlfriend or some shit. I don't think I was, because I had school going on my damn self. Like, I'm back in school for psychology. I'm working with multiple students, so my mind is like literally all over the place. Listening, being empathetic here, there, and everywhere. So I doubt if I had time to just hover over his dreams. I don't know, shit. Hell, you gotta ask him, but I doubt if I don't know. So we had a conversation, and then one morning we're talking, and the conversation went well. And then we hang up. I'm getting ready for work. And then he texts me. I don't think I could do this anymore. I don't think I'm the person for you. Whatever. I knew it was coming. I shared it a few tears because it was like, I was hoping I was wrong, I guess you could say. I was really hoping I was wrong. But I knew it was coming, so I didn't cry that long. Like, dead ass. I really didn't. I did not cry that long. I ain't been able to cry that long. Anyways, I didn't cry that long. So I did the woman thing, as well as, I don't know what got over me. I called him, and I was like, you ain't gonna be no bitch. You gonna tell me that you don't want to talk to me. You're not gonna text me. Because we was just on the phone. So you basically be like, nah. I said, this is another form of ghosting. And since you ain't been a man, for these past few days or what have you, by not completely not saying shit to me, coming up with your own assumptions, this, that, and the other. Nah, we gonna find your balls to, tell me, out your own mouth that this is what you want. And then I'll never hear from you. You'll never hear from me again. Like, dead ass. Like, so serious. So he said it, and I was like, okay. I was like, David, if you expected not to take a girl out, if you expected not to create memories, if you expected them not to believe in you, if you expected to get into that high-level position without having to do much and just be on your video games, you really need to grow the fuck up. I say because I don't think I did much to you to the point where you're like, I'm making you live up to a certain standard, when it's simply just checking on your dreams and aspirations. And maybe that's not okay for some people. But me, if you get with me and you say you want to do something, we are going to do something. Like, seriously. Like, especially if I see you're passionate about it. Why not? Like, who wouldn't want to support their partner with that whole ride or die, she was with me when I was down and all that other shit? I don't get it. I don't understand. So we have separated, and I think I'm okay. No, I don't think. I know I'm okay. Because I told him if we broke up, I'll be well. I did. I did. Because I am going to be well. I am well. Like, I'm single, but I'm well. My bills are paid. Food on my table, clothes on my back. I'm blessed. Very thankful. I've been through some things, but I'm, still learning and growing. I'm well. And I also learned, I learned a lot of shit. I can't go with younger men. That's number one. He was just a year younger, but no. No more younger men for me. I'm 30. No, thank you. As well as kind of just stay on my own world until they try to implement themselves, and then I know they're serious. Because me trying to implement and actually show genuine interest and, like, I don't know, like, I felt like I wasted my interest. I felt like I wasted my drive and motivation and my pep talks and my affirmations I was given, and all that kind of stuff. When if that's what I want in a relationship, that's what I'm gonna always give. So I'm not gonna stop doing that, but I'm gonna be very cautious with it now, due to me, learning from he wasn't a bomb nigga like the other ones. He was a lax nigga, a laxer. He was a laxer, and I just couldn't cope with that. I I get lazy. I get lackadaisical. I get procrastinatical. I know that's not a word. I procrastinate. I know the word. I procrastinate, but at some point in time, especially when it's my big goals, it's like, damn, girl, like, get your ass up. You really want this. Like, come on. And I guess that's just too much coaching for one individual. You dig? Well, I have more stories coming this summer. I know I said that the last time, didn't I? But I'm going to prove myself not to be a liar, because a lot of shit has been happening in my world. So I'm going to do a short clip of a summary soon, so y'all can know what is to come, so y'all know I'm serious. Alright? Bye.